It's time to take a look at stories making headlines in Nigerian newspapers. Joining me now via Skype is CEO of the CKN News, Chris Kende. Chris, good morning.
Good morning, Mike. It's a Friday already.
Nice to see you. All right, let's begin with Blueprint newspaper now. Blueprint says anxiety over September 19, Edo Gobaas, 17 pro-Oshamole lawmakers impeach speakers. The speaker. It's a huge joke, okay, the speaker is saying. Ugly reports of violence disturbing. INEC is saying this and they're watching. Says some eligible voters stand disenfranchised over COVID-19. A crisis threat to constitutional order. That's the article is saying this. Now from the Blueprint, let's go to Daily Trust now. Daily Trust newspaper says 33 killed in fresh southern Kaduna attacks. Gunmen kill 4 in Bayelsa Church. Katsina youths protest insecurity. 19 states in Nigeria unsafe. UK tells nationals we're aware of Al-Qaeda infiltration. Defense headquarters is saying this. Right. These are disturbing times with issues of insecurity. That's Daily Trust. Now, Friday leadership is next now. Friday leadership is next. And it says, we are aware of Al-Qaeda threat. Military tells the U.S. It says Nigerian troops will sustain onslaught on terrorists. Again, PMB tasks security agencies on comprehensive measures. All right, I guess this topic is going to interest Nigerians and even my guest this morning when we start the discussion proper, because there was an advisory recently from the U.S. general saying that Al-Qaeda, ISIS were heading towards Nigeria. From the leadership, let's go to News Direct. News Direct is on coronavirus. Kakovid flags off 23 billion naira food palliatives distribution for 10 million Nigerians. Okay. And from there, let's go to Daily Times now. Daily Times said revamp refineries, pass PIB bill to regulate petrol pump price. Man demands. As a Manufacturing Association of Nigeria. That's Daily Times there. National economy is the last one we're looking at now. Domestic airlines contend with workforce retention amid dwindling operations. Federal government begins process to restart international flights. Okay. This will certainly interest a lot of Nigerians as well. Okay, let's head to our discussion now. Now, the United States of America has alerted the federal government that Al-Qaeda is penetrating the northwestern part of Nigeria as the group is expanding to other parts of West Africa. Nigeria's defense headquarters has responded to the alert, saying that military are not oblivious of the potency of such infiltration. And he described the alert as a clarion call for the military to sustain its onslaught against Boko Haram terrorists and all other insurgents as well. Now, these will form part of our discussion with our guest. Chris, I wonder what you make of this, because when this alert came out from the U.S. General, a lot of Nigerians were quite concerned about it. But certainly the Nigerian military has responded. What do you say?
Yes, Mike. Just as you said, I was surprised but not shocked, because if the following happenings within that axis, what has been happening in Mali, Chad, and some other West African region, you know that ISWAP, Al-Qaeda, seems to be having an encroachment into the West African region, and is expectedly, since they're having issue in Syria and also having a serious issue in Iraq. The West Africa seems to be the next target. So, also they have a fertile ground in their, using the word, allies in Boko Haram. So it will be easier for them to be able to penetrate that. So when the information came in from the U.S., I was surprised but not shocked. But good enough, our military said that they are responding that it is nothing new. In fact, the Defense Information spokesperson, General Nature, said that this is not new. and they are aware of this, and they've been battling this for over 10 years now, and this information has been coming and going. So, but that is not enough. I think we should be able to do more. More so, if you remember, Mike, that a few days ago, the Minister of Defense came out to say that the president wasn't satisfied with the activities of the military in the fight against insurgency, and that is just Boko Haram. So if we're going to have another major infiltration from ISWAP, Al-Qaeda, which is more sophisticated than even Boko Haram, then there's need for concern. So if the military spokesman said there's no need for concern, I would say that there is need for concern, and we should be able to try to strategize in order to be able to nip this in the bud.
All right. Now, Chris, the point there is, for 10 years now, the Nigerian military and security agencies have been fighting Boko Haram, and they've not been able to root it out. They've been aware of Al-Qaeda infiltration, or likely or alleged infiltration is one thing. The capacity and ability to match them and ensure they don't compound what we have is another thing. But from your analysis of the reports and your monitoring that you have been seeing, if it happens where Al-Qaeda has to bond with Boko Haram in practical terms, what scenarios do you see?
That brings so much to the miss, Mike. And what I think is that I'm not in the military, neither am I a military strategist, but I should think by now, our military head should be having a meeting with the U.S. To be able to study that information they have and look at area of collaboration, not just saying that we are ready. We've not been able to handle Boko Haram for 10 years. Having Al-Qaeda and ISWAP coming to the midst will be another major problem. So we shouldn't be ashamed, we shouldn't be afraid to seek assistance from major war powers like the U.S., where necessary, and other major powers that can be able to help us in this. Don't forget that just a few months back, Chad, just our neighbors there, were able to deal with their own area when with the Boko Haram insurgents within their area, and they wiped them out. Some of them, the remaining, moved down to Nigeria and will not be able to handle that all this way. So I think and I believe with what is happening just recently, you forget that. Don't forget that in Borno State alone as a state is not secured. The governor of Borno State was attacked just going to Baga just a few days ago. So that means that we have serious issues on our hand, and we should not just bury our head in the sand, just like the proverbial ostrich, believing that all is well, while all our body is exposed. The military should not say that they have the capability and we'll be able to handle this. Yes, we have the capability, but we still need the assistance of some major powers. So if we have that intel from the U.S., then there's need for us to seek that information and look at area of collaboration with the United States and some other allies who can be able to help us, or who have been fighting this for not decades, for years, and see areas of collaboration to be able to nip this in the bud.
All right. Now, the point is we have seen moves, at least we've gotten reports from Chad and Cameroon and Niger Republic, how they have been very upfront against Boko Haram and these insurgents. But Nigeria, on one hand, if we make comparison, has not been able to achieve that. If you have to maybe make recommendations based on your being aware as a journalist of some of these things, what kind of recommendation would you be making when it comes to collaboration?
Well, one, intelligence gathering. That is where we are lacking so much. Our military don't have enough intelligence gathering. What we do, yes, we gather information, but is it as much as if we have enough intelligence gathering, I don't think we'll be having this insistent attack here and there. So we need to, the U.S. have the capacity for that. We need to collaborate with them and seek areas of cooperation. I know that Nigerian military have collaborating with most of these foreign countries in areas of intelligence, but we can do more. That is one. Then we also look at also equipping our military more. I know that some time ago we ordered for some fighter jets and some equipment. Some have come, we've not had. Let us intensify effort in having the remaining ones. Then also look at the problem we have on ground. It's not just about Boko Haram. There is a lot of problem going on. Look at what is happening in Katsina State. It's not just about Boko Haram. We have bandits overrunning the whole place. We have problem in Southern Kaduna, where we have communal clashes and killings, and some other parts of the country. So there are so many. So what I feel now is that also, in terms of intel, as I said, there should be some level of synergy between our military and people within this community. Once they can be able to win their confidence, for them to volunteer information, that also will go a long way. But for us now, as far as this information is concerned, the most important thing is for us to get in touch with the United States and get all these intels and see areas of collaboration and make sure that whatever information that is given to us is kept well, is secret, because the problem is that when they gather this information, which is why one of these foreign countries don't like giving Nigeria information, once you give them this information, then we let the military trickle down and get back to the insurgents, and they act on that and make more attacks. So the military in this step should be careful and make sure that some of this information gathered from these international countries, from these countries, foreign countries, does not move around and get to those that are not supposed to have it, so that at the end of it all, will be much safer and better as a country.
It's time to take a look at stories making the headlines in Nigerian newspapers. With me in the studio is in-house analyst Obani Akinwale. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. All right, let's head straight to the papers now, and I begin with the blueprint. Anxiety over September the 19th, Edo Guba as 17 pro-Oshomole lawmakers impeach Speaker. It's a huge joke, Okie. Ugly reports of violence disturbing. INEC says some eligible voters stand disenfranchised over COVID-19. Crisis threat to constitutional order, Atiku. To the front page of the Daily Trust, 33 killed in fresh southern Kaduna attacks. Gunmen kill 4 in Bayelsa Church. Katsina youth protest insecurity. 19 states in Nigeria unsafe, UK tells nationals. We are aware of Al-Qaeda infiltration. That's the defense headquarters responding there. All right, we move to the front page of the Leadership newspaper, and it says, we are aware of Al-Qaeda threat, military tells us, says Nigerian troops will sustain onslaught on terrorists. Again, President Muhammadu Buhari tasks security agencies on comprehensive measures. All right, let's move now to the front page of the News Direct. Coronavirus, CACOVID flags off to 23 billion naira food palliatives distribution for 10 million Nigerians. And on the front page of the Daily Times, revamp refineries pass PIB bill to regulate petrol pump price. MAN demands, that's the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, demanding there. And finally, on the front page of the national economy, domestic airlines contend with workforce retention. Amid dwindling operations, federal government begins process to restart international flights. All right, before we go into the discussion, the United States of America has alerted the federal government that Al-Qaeda is penetrating the northwestern part of Nigeria as the group is expanding to other parts of West Africa. Nigeria's defense headquarters has responded to the alert, saying the military are not oblivious of the potency of such infiltration. It described the alert as a clarion call for the military to sustain its onslaught against Boko Haram terrorists. Right, that's what we'll be looking at. Obani, I'd like for you to quickly react to this information from the U.S. Sharing intelligence with Nigeria about Al-Qaeda's infiltration. The response from the defense headquarters is that they are aware. Now, what is left for a majority of Nigerians is what is done with that information.
Yeah, without being immodest, let me first start by saying that I'm a bit disappointed with the mayor's United States government is using to inform us about the activities of the Al-Qaeda in the Northwest. Simply because intelligence are not shared on the front pages of newspaper. We call it intelligence. Nigeria have the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs. Nigeria also have Department of State Security. We have national, the one they just signed recently for fund transfer. And these are means of getting this information. And again, there is no terrorist organizations that functions without having source of financing. And they are not financed in Naira and Kobo. So, which means that in terms of wire transfer or money movement, equipment procurement is via an international route. So, for me, yes, we need this information, but coming to the front page of newspapers or telling us in the American media is not the best. But nonetheless, let's ask America, if they are aware that we have this challenge at the Northwest, Al-Qaeda is building up every day, is there anything that stopped them from ensuring they fast-track the production of equipment for the Nigerian Air Force? These are questions that we need to ask. Yes, we know that we're in serious danger in this country. The Northeast is there. The Northwest issue is coming up. And gradually, the entire country...
But how is our own government engaging them to fast-track the production of this hardware that you're talking about?
So what I will have advised, what I will have suggested, I will have expected from the U.S., the African mission is to inform the U.S. authority to speed up and possibly to help us with aid. Yeah, now you have come to TV to tell us that, oh, there is incursion into the northwest of Nigeria by Al-Qaeda. They are building the base. What do you want us to do? The question is that, do we have the capacity to attack these issues? Do we have the resources to attack them?
As a sovereign country, you have, that is your decision to take, isn't it?
So that's why you have United Nations, and that's why you have the Committee of Nations. So you do information sharing. It is good to do information sharing, but it is not enough only to give the information. The question is how and what do I do? So when you know that a country of our status is still grappling with old Pakistanis helicopters to attack even in the north, that is not enough. You know that we have gone to the even U.S. market to buy open source military hardware. The same U.S. I said, human rights activity is there. Russia is helping us, China is helping us. Let me tell you one thing that I know for sure. Yes, the American intelligence is right, but why now? The reason is simply because the West African is tilting towards China. That's the sincere truth.
Is that it?
Absolutely. I agree with them that we have security issues on our hands.
Some persons think otherwise because of because of the issues in Iraq, ISIS thing and Al-Qaeda thing, see West Africa as a fertile ground for their activities.
All right. France has been in Mali for a number of years. So have they been able to counter Al-Shabaab? Have they been able to attack Al-Maghreb? What is happening in Kenya? So if you look at that axis from Guinea to Mali, down to Nigeria, you see that, recall that former Minister for Agriculture says the fresh green grass for nomadism is along that axis. So you have a lot of nomadism, and with the ECOWAS Charter, which allows for free movement between African countries, how do you do that? So what I'm saying is that we understand and we realize that we have this potential bomb at our borders. But what we're saying is that what is U.S. also doing, rather than going to the front page of the newspaper to enhance our security network? We don't have this equipment.
Are we giving them the leeway for this collaboration that we're talking about?
Have we been doing the time past? So what I'm saying is that I am not taking away the fact that we have these issues at our hand. What I'm saying is that the military already, we are saying that if the government should re-energize or re-strategize in terms of how to attack the system. But what I'm saying is that the American system will do us more favor rather than going to the newspaper and create unnecessary anxiety. Already the system is choked. People are anxious that there is banditry, there is Boko Haram in the northeast. Now you now have ISWAP also already in northwest. So you are making the system to have a lot of the panic button is being depressed.
Beyond the U.S. intervention, how about ECOWAS saying that West Africa has this challenge?
You and I know that Nigeria is big brother. When there is problem in Mali, our president flew out to go and normalize. But when there is problem in Borno State, we are still losing our best strategy. So what I'm saying is that we know who we are, we know what we are, we know what we can do. But what I'm saying is that we have the kind of government or the setup leadership we have at the moment. But the U.S. should not help us to use oil to massage this wound again. What they need to help us to do is that give us proper medication. The president has said the military are doing their best. That's from our president. And they said they should go and re-strategize in terms of the military personnel or their tactics. We know all that. But the U.S. will not do us assisting more harm by letting us know again, weighing us down with this information that, oh, these people are in your territory. And so what? So that's the question I'm asking. So we know they are here. We need their help. At this moment, we know that Nigeria, we are helpless. Every day people are killed in Jos. They are killing. You see the lot of killings going here and there. A governor was attacked recently. So we know the level of insecurity in this country, and the president said, okay, my service chief have tried their best, but I've asked them to go and re-energize and re-strategize. We know, and U.S. also saw this from the president. So what we're saying is that as much as we agree that there is fire on our mountain, We need U.S. fire service to come and help us quench, rather than also making case out of it and engage. Because what you have done again is that people in that axis, you have engulfed them in more fear that, oh, you are not only grappling with banditry alone, ISWAP is already at your hand. So how do you marry that? So when you have attack now in the Northwest, we're going to say, oh, is it banditry, is it castle rustling, or is it ISWAP? So these are things I'm so conscious about in terms of the people psychosocial condition, their psychological state, their mind. We need to look at that. What kind of information are we pushing out to people in this Northwest? I would have said, okay, we have identified these people and we're able to truncate X amount of money that was going to them. Right. We're able to do this. We're going to give you this support. But coming on the pages of newspaper,
I will be looking forward to that from government and hoping that we get the needed collaboration with the U.S. Thank you so much, Obani Akinwale, for your time.
My pleasure.